Yo, what's going on, guys? Here with Out of Bounds Sports with my man MATT CRUZ over here, breaking down everything you need to know about the NBA trade deadline. And let's just jump right into it.
Yes, sir.
Starting what is it?
January 31st.
We got the blockbuster Porzingis trade. Here's the details. Dallas received Kristaps, Tim Hardaway Jr., Courtney Lee, Trey Burke for DeAndre Jordan, Dennis Smith, Wesley Matthews, and 2 future first-round picks. What do you think about this?
I think this is a great move by the Knicks. Getting some more cap space for the summer to pick up huge free agents. Guys like KD, Jimmy, Kyrie. I think this is a good move.
You look at this move at face value. The day it happened, I'm like, this might be the worst move the Knicks ever.
I was shocked, to be honest with you.
You see the reports. They're shopping Porzingis 5 minutes later, traded. So at face value, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense. But now, looking back at it, we have to understand that the Knicks must know something that we don't.
Yeah,
Whether
definitely.
it's a mutual agreement, something under the table, they have to know someone's coming this summer.
Definitely.
You don't make a move. You do not trade your all-star, soon-to-be superstar player. I understand he's coming off of an injury like that, and he's a 7'3", and guys like that don't come back. So that he's 23 years old. He's a baby.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not make that move unless you know something that we don't. And all the rumors, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving.
Oh, and he was supposed to be the guy that lures Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Exactly. He was supposed to be that attractive piece,
Yeah.
right? Now you're getting rid of him. So you must really be confident.
That you're going to pull one of those guys.
Because, listen, you cannot make that move. This is a franchise shifting move. Your future is at hand. This is a guy who was an all-star last season. Didn't play in it because he was hurt. But he's an all-star player, 7'3", a transcendent player, a guy that honestly is a prototypical guy that you want in this league that can do everything. 7'3", shoot the ball from 40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is like the second coming of, these guys that we see, a Dirk Nowitzki, more athletic, something like that. So you look at this trade, you break it down. It wasn't that bad of a trade in terms of the guys they got back, but I think they should have at least made some more calls.
Yeah. I think it would be cool to know what other options they had to get Porzingis. Maybe possibly a better deal.
It's like we don't know.
But we're not going to know that.
We don't know the other trade offers that they did get. But at the end of the day, they pulled the trigger on this. And this trade we cannot talk about right now. It's what happens this summer that we can say, that was a good deal.
That's when you're going to know who really won this trade.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Let's move on. February 1st, we got Bulls acquire Luwaku Cabarrot from the Thunder. Now, I was actually at this Bulls-Nets game last night, and he played well. He can shoot the ball, can guard. And in terms of the Bulls, we know they're tanking, right?
Yeah.
We know that they're a team that is looking for a high draft pick. But in the meantime, grabbing a guy like him who could shoot, do a little bit of things, can't hurt. That's basically it for Chicago, though. The Chicago Bulls, right? We'll get to another draft, another trade that they actually – it was a big trade for them coming soon. Okay, we'll jump to Portland.
Portland picking up Rodney Hood.
I mean, this is a guy who, after he left Utah, went to Cleveland – everyone was kind of like doubting him. He wasn't the same player playing with LeBron. In the finals, tough finals for him. I think he might have found a home here. What do you think?
I totally agree. Another shooter the Portland Trailblazers can have. Hood finding a new home. It's really great for him, I think it's good for him to have a new start after having that bad season with Cleveland.
And a team like Portland, they're only giving up Nick Stauskas and Wade Baldwin.
Yeah.
He's already a better player than them.
Yeah, definitely.
And, again, Portland's a team. They're sitting fourth in the West now.
Wow.
So they're not all in, but they want to contend.
They're right there, yeah.
They want to contend.
They're right there.
And after a tough start to the season, a guy like him, a guard come off the bench with obviously their transcendent backcourt in Lillard and McCollum, I think he can be a great spark plug off the bench for a team that does need more of a 3-man.
Yeah.
That team has been lacking a 3-man for years. He is a 2 to 3, so it can't hurt.
Yeah, definitely can.
Let's jump to the blockbuster of blockbusters. I mean, this is a trade that I think really changed the landscape in the East. What are we talking about? Tobias Harris to the Sixers. Break it down, Matt. What did they get? What happened?
So, basically, the Sixers got Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, Mike Scott. And the Clippers got Wilson Chandler, Mike Muscala, Landry Shamet, a 2020 first-round pick, and a 2021 first-round pick. And 2 future second-round picks.
The Clippers love their picks, man.
I mean, they're definitely looking for the future.
The Clippers are, and the cap space that they cleared up. I mean, they're talking about a team. They're another team this summer.
They can make a big splash.
This summer is their summer. And in terms of the Sixers, I mean, what a move.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sixers are the definition of all in. We're talking 3 years ago, this team had the worst record in the NBA. The process was a joke, right? Is it a joke now?
Definitely not.
They have the best starting lineup in the East. And they're looking like a team that can contend.
Yeah.
I mean, I still doubt the whole. They don't have a lot of experience. We understand that. Jimmy Butler, in my opinion, has his foot out the door. He's a locker room cancer, all that. But in terms of talent alone,
they're very strong.
nothing comes close to this team. And this team was missing that 3-4 guy.
Yeah.
They had Redick, they had Butler. Who is that other guy that's a forward? They didn't have that.
Yeah.
Right? Now you have Tobias Harris, who all-star snub this year. All-star snub.
For sure.
Clippers' best player.
Definitely.
You know, the Clippers are in the playoffs. Now, clearly they're not going for it now.
Yeah.
And a guy who doesn't demand the ball at all. Like he's just gonna let the game come to him.
Loves playing off the ball, and they didn't just get him. No. Boban Marjanovic. We're talking about a 7'5" center who has touch.
Efficiency.
One of the most efficient players of all time.
Yeah.
Look at the numbers. And I mean, Mike Scott, who's a 3-and-D guy, always going to use a guy like that in the league. And I mean, I can't believe almost the Clippers even gave Boban up.
Yeah.
Like they just threw him in like that. I mean, listen.
This is a team that's guaranteed a superstar, though. I think they're guaranteed a superstar.
I mean, listen, they're in.
Sure, with the money they have coming into the summer.
They're in LA. I mean, I understand it's not the Lakers, but I'm starting to get scared. The Clippers might get more than the Lakers this summer.
Yeah.
Seriously. So, I think it is a win-win on both ends. Obviously, if you look at the names, it's not name for name. It's what happens this summer. Same as what we
same
just
as
spoke
the Knicks
about.
trade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, Sixers are going to be interesting, and we'll also get to what happens with the rest of the East at the end of that trade deadline. Let's jump to my LeBron and the Lakers. They did not get that Anthony Davis, as we all know. He will be a Pelican as far as we
right
know
now.
to the rest of this summer.
Yeah.
Till this summer. But the Lakers did make some moves.
Yeah.
It wasn't AD, but they did get guard Reggie Bullock from the Pistons, trading away Svi Mykhailiuk. You know, they both can shoot the three, but Reggie Bullock is proven shooting 38% from three this season. And I feel that, listen, they need shooting. I mean, what do you think about this?
You know, I think it's a good pickup for the Lakers. I mean, it's tough giving up somebody like a rookie like Mykhailiuk. You know, he's a good shooter.
You don't know what he can become, too.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's tough giving up somebody like that. But I think it's good getting Bullock, you know. Another shooter on the team that LeBron needs, definitely. They haven't been shooting the ball too well this year.
Terrible shooting team.
So it can only go up from here.
And, I mean, this was way bigger than, you know, who they're getting. A move had to be made. I don't care how small.
Yeah,
This team
definitely.
was in turmoil, chemistry issues with all the trade rumors and all of it going public. We'll get to what the Pelicans intended to do, but a move had to be made, and at the sacrifice of Svi. But listen, Reggie Bullock's a better player, straight up, and he's a 3-and-D guy too, and they need shooting. And Svi's a good shooter, but proven shooting. Okay, so the Lakers, not a bad move from that standpoint. Okay, small move.
Wait. We can't forget about. I know there hasn't been reports about this, and I just love the idea so much. Why didn't the Lakers pick up Wayne Ellington, dude? Like seriously.
I mean, I want him.
And listen, I'm not hating on the front office. I'm not, because there hasn't been reports saying he rejected LA in the first place, right?
Yeah.
There hasn't been reports saying that. But until that comes out, I'm saying the Lakers didn't do their job to get Wayne Ellington.
You're right. Listen, I'll take Wayne over Reggie Bullock any day.
Yeah, definitely.
And he's clear. He got waived by the Heat, and he's favored to go to the Pistons. I keep seeing reports, but if I was the Lakers, man, like he's not just a shooter. Like he's the definition.
Yeah.
Like we were at that Heat Knicks game, bro. Yeah. Like we see what he could do in the clutch. Like he is that tier below a Kyle Korver type of player, coming off screens, down screens.
He has the green light no matter where he goes.
Green light. I mean, and as deservingly so. You know what I'm saying?
Great shooter.
So I mean, the Lakers, listen, they did miss out on a lot, but that could be a huge miss out come the end of this season. Moving forward, small move. Again, the Sixers, they just didn't stop. We're going to be saying the Sixers a lot now. Malachi Richardson, a 2022 second-round pick, and draft rights to Amir.
Syracuse.
You're right, absolutely. For just cash from Toronto. Just cash. Straight up cash. Listen, another guard. I mean, we know we'll get to Fultz, but he ain't there no more.
No.
So another backup point guard, shooting guard, can shoot the ball, is quick, not going to have serious minutes, but just another body adds to their depth. Simple as that. Go ahead, Matt.
So now we have the Wayne Ellington trade to the Suns. The Suns received Tyler Johnson and Wayne Ellington, and the Heat got Ryan Anderson.
Finally, your Miami Heat got Ryan.
What?
Finally.
I don't want that guy on my team.
I know you
No,
don't.
you know what happened? You know what happened? People were just so yearning for a trade. Like they just wanted something,
Heat
right?
fans were like, "We need to make a trade." You did it.
Face value,
got the trade?
no, face value. People were going over crazy for $4 million saved.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Who are you gonna sign
Officially,
for?
Wayne Ellington is a Detroit Piston as of right now, officially.
Yes.
Officially? Okay.
Officially, go
All
ahead.
Congrats. Yeah, but yeah, $4 million. Congratulations. What are you gonna do? Sign Jimmy Butler? I don't think so.
Exactly.
You
And
can't even
listen,
sign the smallest free agent on the market with $4 million extra
The
dollars.
Heat are in the middle of the pack. It's so
Yeah.
tough in this league. You want to be great or you want to be bad. You do
Yeah.
not want to be in the
You
middle.
can't be
It's
in the
their fault. It's their
It is
everything is their
It
fault.
is their fault. It is. So yeah, actually, Wayne Ellington is a Detroit Piston now. Tyler Johnson was waived by Phoenix, and Ryan
Get
Anderson.
Deion Waiters off my team.
Like the Heat, man, tough spot as we said, but he's a Heato now. So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens. He has not done much past seasons. Houston gave him a little run, but nothing crazy. Moving on
What's the next one?
to the Pelicans, landing Markieff Morris and a 2023 second-round pick for Wesley Johnson, who is, I believe, New Orleans waived Markieff Morris. He's a favorite to go to the Lakers, actually. I would take that any day of the week. And Wizards, I believe.
What about Melo?
I know, but they only have one spot. That we'll get to that how that happened, but I guess I'm gonna take Markieff Morris over Melo. Like, am I crazy to say that? Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, you shouldn't be crazy to say that.
I mean, at least we're talking about a guy who has been playing
Yeah.
basketball at least, and not just in the Jordan Rec Center. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody can hit shots in the Jordan Rec Center.
Yeah,
And this comes from me. I would like to see Melo in a Lakers uniform.
I would love that too.
because we don't know what he can become with LeBron James.
Yeah. You haven't seen it yet.
We see what LeBron does with these guys, and it's not just regular. This is Melo. This is LeBron's buddy, and
Mhm.
you know we'll see that. But Markieff Morris is on the market right now. A team should have picked him up. He could be serious for them.
Definitely.
Porter Jr. to the Bulls, man.
So basically the whole trade, Otto Porter is going to the Bulls, and the Wizards got Jabari Parker and Bobby Portis.
And now we're getting into the whole politics of the league because this deal actually went down during the warm ups of
Right
the Bulls
before the game, yeah.
During the warm up of the Bulls game, and Jabari Parker and Bobby Portis had to be like taken out of warm ups.
Yeah.
They left the building. Like
Bobby
they
Portis
left the
stuff with his
building.
uniform on.
They left the building. They were actually versing. I believe the Pelicans. I could be wrong, but AD was saying something to someone that was just been traded. Otto Porter, I saw him last night. He fits in well. They need a 3 guy, but like I said, the Bulls, I don't really understand because they should be tight. They should be trying to lose.
Definitely, yeah.
And Porter obviously is not a guy that's going to help you
Yeah.
lose. He's probably the second best player on your team right now. And also, why do the Washington Wizards do this? Porter's probably on the worst contract in the whole league. He never reached that potential they thought he would in the past 2 years, and they decided, listen, let's clear cap. We know what happened to John Wall.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know, John Wall suffered a torn Achilles in his house.
Dude, I thought that was the report saying he officially underwent surgery. I didn't know it was a second time.
No, like
Yeah.
he was like recovering from the surgery he had just had, and he tore his Achilles in his house, freak accident
It's crazy.
by his report. Now he's gonna go finish college actually. If you didn't hear the
Yeah,
reports,
congrats. Yeah.
go get some education. I mean, at least you can do something for yourself because
Yeah,
you haven't been
definitely.
getting better in Washington.
Mhm.
Am I wrong to say that?
Definitely not wrong.
All right, back to the Blazers acquiring Robespierre from the Kings. Now, this is a upcoming power forward. He could shoot the ball. He can, shoot.
He's been uncoming for a couple of years now. I think he just has to find a system.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's a guy that I wouldn't mind seeing in Miami, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
He reminds me of a bigger version of he's a forward version of a Kyle Anderson. That's what he is.
He's just a more athletic LaMarcus Aldridge. Down low though, he doesn't really have a perimeter shot.
True. And I don't know who that is.
Caleb Swanigan.
Well, apparently the Kings now have Caleb Swanigan. Just trust me on that one. Now we get into
The next move, we got Sacramento Kings are getting Harrison Barnes, and the Dallas Mavericks got Justin Jackson and Zach Randolph,
who was just
who
waived.
was just waived. Yeah.
I mean, this was during an NBA game.
Exactly during the game.
You knew about it though.
I don't believe it.
Really?
I don't believe it
Why not?
because we have half people saying he knew about it, but he still wanted to play. And the other
Yeah.
side says he had no idea, because I respect him if he did know and he played, but you see the look on his face. You know, the commentators had no idea.
Listen. I watched him last night versus the Heat. I think that's his natural resting face.
but if we're looking for the move, the Kings, I think this is a huge move for them. This is going to be overlooked because it is Harrison Barnes and it's the Sacramento Kings, but the Kings have been lacking that 3-man. They don't have one. They legit don't have a 3-man in Sacramento. I mean, and we'll get to Iman Shumpert is out of there now, so this is big. But the Kings are on the come up, man. They're like sitting 9th seed, I believe, right now.
Right there.
Ahead of the Lakers. Ahead of the LA Lakers right now. I mean, this is a team who De'Aaron Fox took leaps and bounds this season. Yeah. He's turning into what the Lakers wish they would have gotten in the draft, but we'll get to that too. De'Aaron Fox is real. They have, Willie Cauley-Stein down low, Harrison Barnes that forward. Am I crazy to say they might snag 8 seed?
It's possible. Can never count them out.
I mean,
with the pieces they have right now with De'Aaron Fox and Barnes and Cauley-Stein, I think it's possible for them to do it.
I mean, the Kings are really on the come. That young core, give it 5 years. We're talking about contenders, maybe 3, honestly.
Yeah, they're
because
looking real
we'll
strong.
see a balance of power change in the whole league by this summer.
Yeah.
Wow. Talking about a Shumpert to Rockets 3-team deal. This is a big one. Not many big names. It's a pretty big one. Houston receives Iman Shumpert, Nick Stauskas, Wade Baldwin. We already said their names. They've been flipped 5 times, in case you didn't know. They've been flipped that many times. Sacramento receives Alec Burks and a 2020 second-round pick. Cavs receive Brandon Knight, Marquise Chris, 2019 first-round or 2022 second-round pick.
Alec Burks is a Kings player, by the way, now, at this moment.
Yeah, you're right.
And, I really hope he succeeds with the Kings because of his injury history. He wasn't able with the Jazz and all that.
Utah,
he's a baller. He's a real baller.
He is a baller. And he's had spurts with Utah where, I remember even Skip was talking about it, against his Spurs, he would go off. We're talking about now Brandon Knight, Marquise Chris from Houston. Everyone thought that was huge in the offseason getting them. Didn't work out.
No.
Why? Because Harden is doing what Harden's doing.
Yeah, he's being James Harden.
And no disrespect to him, but we all have our own opinions on the way Harden's playing right now. The Cavs, I mean, listen, what are the Cavs? The Cavs need to get Zion. That's what they need.
Yeah.
The Cavs need the first pick once again. They haven't had enough, huh?
I guess
they
not.
haven't had enough. Kyrie and
Definitely, I guess not.
weren't enough. What do you think about this? I mean, what does this do for Houston? Getting Sean.
It gives him another guy who could play D. And getting Stauskas, a guy who could shoot the ball. I think that's good. Adding another guard, back up Harden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Nick Stauskas, another guy who could shoot the ball. And what do we see now with Houston when you're playing them? They start doubling Harden, man. You need guys that can shoot.
Yeah.
You need guys that can hit open shots. Gerald Green's there. Eric Gordon's been hurt. Capella hurt. Chris Paul out. And they're injury prone still. They can come back, but they're still injury prone. So you need guys that can hit threes, wide open threes. That's what's giving Houston hope at least. So that's a big 3-team deal though. Greg Monroe to Brooklyn, and then he's waived. So basically, a lot of trades that went down have been, have tumbled off because they just trade for cap room. They waive them. They get rid of bad contracts. They waive the guys, cash considerations, all that. So nothing really happened here. Hawks acquiring Jabari Bird. Details on this one. I mean, we got cash considerations again.
More cash.
Even even cash.
What the hell is up with what are cash? What are you gonna do with $24,000?
Yeah, really. What are you gonna buy
The numbers aren't that low. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like sometimes.
Yeah.
Like,
what are you gonna make an extra seat for your arena? Seriously? I mean, who really in the nosebleeds? Shovel Mack is now an Atlanta Hawk once again. For Tyler Dorsey from Memphis, a guard for guard swap. I feel like this is just a move where teams need to shake things up. Coming from Memphis, we obviously will get to what Memphis did and what they're up to. That grit and grind is over.
Yeah.
Marc Gasol is not a Grizzly anymore. Zebo isn't there. Conley on a huge contract, almost out the door. He just got saved.
Yeah.
He's still there, but shaking things up. That's all that really is.
All right, next move we got.
Man. You can take this away, even though it's mine. You got it. You got it.
The Lakers got Mike Muscala, and they traded away Michael Beasley and Zubats to the Clippers. How do you feel about this one, Chris?
Man,
You better hope Muscala shoots the three better than he does.
I better hope
Yeah.
Muscala turns into a 6'11" Stephen Curry. Because, all right, listen, this is another. Like it even says here, reshuffle in LA.
Yeah.
You had to make another move, and this was legit the day of the. This was an hour before the deadline had ended, and Anthony Davis hopes dead. They were
Right out the
done.
window.
So let's go get another forward. His name, another power forward, from the West. Actually, just up the street.
Yeah.
Or in the same arena. Actually, this deal went done. By the way, fun fact: this is the first Clippers-Lakers deal in the last 35 years.
Wow.
They don't deal with each other. They don't like each other. They're legit in the same arena. What do they make it? They should have just met center court and made the trade. Like, seriously. There's no phone call needed. Magic, Jerry West, just straight up on the court. The players legit, they hand them over.
Yeah.
Like, they shake hands. This is what we're doing. Mike Muscala, great 3-point shooter, forward. Should I say not great, good 3-point shooter. But you're in LA now, so you better be great. Like,
Yeah.
no
Lot of
excuses
pressure.
here. But the big question in this whole move is the Lakers really gave away Ivica Zubac.
I'm
Matt,
sh- I'm,
explain
I'm
this.
shocked.
Please explain this. Explain this.
I'm really shocked. You know, Zubac has really proved himself this year. You know, he's been playing great for them. Playing great
Starting
basketball.
center for the last 20 games.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the playoffs he wasn't going to get the minutes he got now. I think Tyson Chandler was going to take a lot of those minutes back regardless.
I mean, this is a guy who legit made his name on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
He made his name on Christmas Day and was starting for the Lakers majority ever since, and was going to be a huge guy in the Anthony Davis deal. Like, I thought he was going to be a difference maker in that deal. Like, to me, he was almost untouchable at this point. Because this is a young guy who has so much upside and so offensively talented. I don't know how you just give him away like he's a throw-in for Mike Muscala.
Yeah.
I think the Lakers will regret this looking forward because he could be a huge piece in not maybe an Anthony Davis trade, but another trade that you can get a Bradley Beal or another all-star player.
Dude, once that trade happened, I knew you weren't getting Davis.
Oh, 100%.
Well,
like,
I mean,
over.
once I heard it, once I heard the rumblings, it was like, nope.
No, 100% done. So, listen, what did the Lakers? This is all the Lakers made. So we'll just wrap up for the Lakers. They got 2 or 3 guys that can shoot threes. Exactly what they need, but at the expense of Zubac, which is and Beasley. I hate to say Beasley. We didn't say him, but the Clippers waived him, so he's not on the NBA team right now. That's just tough. This
Next,
is pretty big, actually.
Next move we got Grizzlies receiving Avery Bradley, and the Clippers get Garrett Temple and JaMychal Green. So Avery Bradley, good defender, you know, bounced around.
Ever since Boston's never
Yeah,
been the same.
it hasn't
Never
been.
the same. It was tough in LA. He didn't get much playing time, didn't get much opportunity, but it tends to show, you know, once these guys leave Boston, what happens to them? Like, we see what happened to Isaiah Thomas. This is a guy, Avery Bradley, who was scary in the playoffs. If you remember versus the Cavs,
Yeah.
hit some game winners in that playoff series when Isaiah Thomas was there. Was a serious threat. That series went to 6.
Yeah. That was a good fight by the
I mean,
Celtics that series.
how good is Brad Stevens? Like, it was really like that's legit. Like, how good is the Celtics system right now? Like, well, right now is an understatement, but what it used to be at least. These guys just fall off. But Avery Bradley in Memphis now. We know what Memphis is up to, so he might have an opportunity to prove himself there,
Yeah.
right? And maybe end up with a nice contract next season. Garrett Temple bounced around from Washington to Memphis, now Clippers. I mean, not a bad 3-man. JaMychal Green was great in Memphis, and the Clippers, like, we know what they're up to. So these guys could be serious role players when they get that superstar this summer, possibly.
Yeah, possibly getting them.
This was big. Go ahead. Sixers again, by the way.
Sixers got James Ennis, and the Rockets got rights to a 2021 second-round pick swap.
The Sixers are going all in. Like,
Clearly.
this is the definition of win now, because you do not know if Dream Bell is re-signing, and you do not know, the injuries of Joel Embiid. You know, we're talking about a guy who's arguably the greatest center in the league, and now you're getting guys for basically nothing. A 2021 second-round pick swap. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, me
Wait, what are you swapping it with? Forward James Ennis. He played well in Houston, actually.
Yeah.
And he was from the Heat. Your Heat. He played well there too. He made a name for himself there. The Sixers, man, another guy who could shoot, get big. I mean, but you do not want to see the Sixers in the playoffs.
Sixers are looking pretty scary. Definitely.
Wow. Okay. A huge deal. Oh, listen. Here you go, Matt. Take this away from me here.
All right. We got Pacers receiving Nick Stauskas and Wade Baldwin, and rights to Marty Lunin
Yes, sir.
and a 2021 second round
For what,
pick
Matt?
for some more cash considerations.
The cash, man. These teams are having lots of cash. Man.
Yeah,
I'm
I
getting
mean-
jealous right now, man. I mean, they don't have enough cash. I don't think. Not enough cash.
No, I don't think
Pat
so.
guys
Riley
are
should
only
Pat
on-
Riley should be looking for cash.
I think LA needs some cash.
Yeah.
Like, why are we're giving away like proven players like Zubac? Like,
Why don't we
like,
get some cash back?
Starting centers, like we're legit giving away starting centers for third string power forwards. We don't get no cash though. All right, no, they don't get no cash. I mean, but this next deal is this is pretty serious.
Oh yeah. So we got Markelle Fultz heading to the Magic,
He is a Magic now.
and the Sixers receiving Jonathan Simmons, a 2019 first round pick protected, and a 2019 second round pick.
The Sixers, man.
They really
I
like making
just
moves.
this is they took over this
Trade deadline.
trade deadline, and
Alex Sabrinas just got waived by the Thunder.
Shams doesn't know how to spell. So.
Oh look, he just tweeted again.
You don't know how to spell. Alex Arenas was big for the Thunder, but
Sometimes.
he would come in his threes. But hey, this is just an update.
Yeah.
I guess we're doing this at the right time. I mean, when Elton's he's a Detroit Piston
Yeah.
and Arenas is on the open market. But back to Markelle Fultz, talking about a guy who was drafted number 1 in last year's draft, in 2 years ago, I believe, and it just it never happened.
To be honest, man, I really feel bad for the guy.
You have to.
You know, coming out of college, he really looks special. And
100%.
coming into this season, I was watching some of like his workout videos from over the summer, and he looked ready. You know,
Balling.
he looked ready to go
So
this
did
year.
Melo though.
Let's not get started with Melo.
So did Melo. I know.
Oh, yo, and I just want to say something to people trashing Drew Hanlon, his shooting coach. Drew Hanlon's the one who was trying to fix his jump
Yeah.
shot, and then Markelle Fultz's personal life and his injury is what really caused it. Let's just get that straight.
Because with Markelle, this was all mental. I mean, we understand. We heard all of the, the shoulder injury, and then they would release the fluid and all that. But at the end of the day, the pressure of becoming, no one wants to be a bust at the end of the day. But you're the number 1 pick. You're drafted ahead of Lonzo Ball. Shy does not say his name. Ahead of a Jason Tatum. I mean, guys like that. It's tough, and now the Sixers are clearly going all in, and he's not part of their future plans. And they get someone good for him.
Yeah, Jonathan Simmons.
He is another San Antonio project.
Yep.
And now he bounced around. Magic, he played great there. And now the Sixers have another guy coming off the bench who can create his own shot, shoot the ball, guard. I mean, I don't understand. Like, this
They're
team
just
is
getting
deep.
better and better.
like, this team is legit deep. Like, no, this is the process right now. Now we're talking about the process. And apparently they're still not done with the process. Apparently.
Well,
the hell does that mean?
yeah.
I mean, they're talking, if there is things changed this summer, they might flip some of these guys.
Right. Okay.
That's what I mean. So, and the Sixers receive another second round pick. Like, how many picks is this team gonna get? They're gonna be winning championships and getting picks too.
Yeah.
Like, seriously? No, I'm joking. They're not winning no championship. Okay, so let's move on to.
We got a 3-team deal with the Pistons getting Thon Maker, the Bucks getting Nikola Mirotic, and the Pelicans receiving Jason Smith and Stanley Johnson, and 4 future second-round picks.
Now, forget everything else. The biggest name in this deal is who, Matt?
Nikola Mirotic, baby.
I mean, I think the Bucks could possibly be the favorites in the East right now.
Yeah.
And we just talked all about Philly. The Bucks are sitting number 1 in the East, 40-13 record. Giannis is playing out of his mind. The second biggest offseason move was Mike Budenholzer, coach of the Bucks, behind obviously the Lakers getting LeBron James, and I stand by that. And Max Kellerman does say that. No, it's true. This team is just taking such a leap. Now you're adding a Mirotic to that. And listen, it's not only about the names. They have Giannis. They have another All-Star now in Chris Middleton. But now you're adding a guy who, well, you know what he did in the playoffs last season for New Orleans? They swept Portland out.
Yeah.
Listen, they ran into Golden State. We understand that. But this is a guy who constantly hits open shots. He's a 6'11" power forward, spread the floor. He can run off down screens, everything like that. And Milwaukee has lacked shooting. They have. So adding a guy like him, it is in that system. I don't.
And he doesn't disrupt anyone's thing. He just plays on the opposite
Yeah.
wing of Chris Middleton, does his thing, and no.
Am I right? Wasn't he on the other side of a fight in practice? Wasn't it him? Remember he got like
With Bobby
busted in the
Portis.
face?
With Bobby Portis.
With
Bobby
yeah.
Portis. And
Bobby-
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here for Bobby Portis savagery. I'm here for that.
In
He
Chicago,
was
that was
he was
in
violent in
Chicago.
he was violent in the Bulls.
I think it's a great move for Milwaukee. And for the other teams involved, Pelicans received Jason Smith, Stanley Johnson, who was good in Detroit for the time being.
Yeah.
Never had, but I think, like I said, the Pelicans, we know what's going to happen there. Bad marriage with Anthony Davis. He's gone by this summer. So this guy could be a guy part of their rebuild.
Yeah.
Stanley Johnson, a young forward, shoot the ball, guard, all that good stuff. Don Maker actually is
forget
not a
about Thon.
Milwaukee Buck now. What do you think about that?
You know, I'm kind of shocked. You know, coming into the league, I thought it was gonna be really good.
They thought he was going to be like another Giannis.
Yeah,
shall I say?
possibly.
I mean,
That's blasphemous. He had nothing the skill set close to Jan, like nothing compared to him.
well, I mean,
Well, honestly, with Thon Maker, it was just straight raw talent.
exactly. And
You know?
just looking at his body.
Yeah.
That's what
Down
just
low as
looking
well.
at him.
Down low as well.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Pause.
now if you look at now where he is now in Detroit, you got Blake there, you got Drummond.
Yeah.
Coming off the bench as a power forward center, he could stretch the floor. But I'm waiting for this guy to just take that big step.
Yeah. You know, I feel like everybody's been waiting. You know,
Milwaukee
he's-
waited 3 years, I believe.
and obviously he hasn't done anything.
I mean, clearly, but like I said, it all comes with opportunity. We see it all the time. These guys, they go to other teams and they become special or they fall off.
Yeah.
It goes one way or the other. There's no in the middle. So hopefully for his
Yeah.
benefit.
Hopefully for him, he just definitely shows out for the
Yeah.
Pistons.
Now we're going to finish on a deal that actually went down, I'd say 15 minutes before 3 o'clock on the 7th.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt.
So we got the Raptors getting Marcus Sol, and the Grizzlies receiving Jonas Valanciunas, DeLon Wright, C.J. Miles, and the 2024 second-round pick.
Now, before we even get into this, the East, the top 4 teams in the East right now. We saw Philadelphia, they're all in.
Yeah.
Power moves left and right. We saw Milwaukee, like we just said, with Mirotic. And now
The Raptors.
Raptors say, wait, what about us? We do have Kawhi Leonard, in case you forgot. By the way, he's out this summer. So this is your chance.
To win the chip, yeah.
This is your chance to basically go all in. And they didn't give up much. It looks like it, but it's not. Valanciunas wasn't playing. You know, he was injured for a... It was funny. He actually tweeted, I'm back. And then he's gone. You ain't back. You back to Memphis. He back from injury, but he's gone. Marcus Gasol's a Raptor now. This is big.
It's very big, you know. The Raptors are getting a very skilled big man in Marcus Sol. He has a very good skill set. You know, he could benefit them a lot in the ending of the season and the playoffs.
What kind of play does he remind you of?
He reminds me of Jokic, an older Jokic. But in the half-court set, he's going to be important in the playoffs because the Toronto Raptors, with Kawhi off the floor, they do play really well. So Lowry and the combo of Lowry and Gasol would actually continue that success much more as Kawhi takes his resting time on the bench during the playoffs.
100%. And what people need to understand is, and nobody really understands this, the NBA game slows down in the playoffs, becomes more half-court oriented.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see much run and gun in the playoffs.
That's why I said before about Tyson Chandler, Zubac was not going to get those minutes because you need an anchor down low.
Exactly.
And on a team that, yes, are good defensively, but once players attack the Lakers down low, it's over. Like, that's just how it is.
And in the playoffs where adjustments are made from game to game, you know, and a guy like Zubac, he's pretty good at running the floor, but like I said, you're not going to have much of those opportunities, even if you're a great defensive team. So a guy like Marcus Gasol in the half-court set, that's what he's built for. You can throw him to him in the post. He could shoot the three. He can pass with the best of them in the league. In terms of big men, 100%. So people are frowned upon this move. Like, I don't get it. He's washed. He's not.
Definitely not.
Because what were you having in Valanciunas? Explain that to me. C.J. Miles hasn't done anything. DeLon Wright, he's been there for a majority of his career. He's a solid guard, but seriously, I would give that up for Marcus Gasol, who could still play this game at a very high level.
Yeah.
So, the East, man. And now, those are all the trades that did go down. So who had the best NBA trade deadline?
I mean, to be honest, it's pretty clear that the Sixers did.
It is. Now, do you think that, honestly, these are going to make a difference come deep in playoffs?
For sure. Definitely.
You know, I said the thing I said about Milwaukee, but there's one East team that we didn't even say one word about in this whole deadline, and I still have them making the finals. The Boston Celtics. We know the whole AD saga LA didn't happen now. So now everyone thinks, Boston's gonna go for AD. This still sticks with the trade, but because trades will go down this summer. We spoke about it. Does AD go to Boston? Does he get traded to Boston? It's not his choice.
I don't know, to be honest with you.
I know 100%. He will not be a Boston Celtic.
Long term or at all?
Because, and there's a reason I'm saying this. One name, Kyrie Irving. Because I firmly believe Kyrie Irving is out.
Yeah.
Now, I said I think they're going to the finals, but even that, I still think he's out. Because
Kyrie needs to stay for him to stay in Boston.
Exactly. So this is what it comes down to. If Kyrie walks, the Celtics do not trade Jason Tatum. And obviously, that's the anchor in a trade for Anthony Davis. So the Pelicans play themselves. And this gets into what did they do to LA? So LA.
Hold on, real quick before you go. So Drew Holiday is a Pelican for long term. So I now see that Kyrie's not going to New Orleans for Anthony Davis.
Oh, and then they were saying the only way it was possible for the Boston Celtics to trade for Anthony Davis before the deadline was to get rid of Kyrie Irving.
Yo, and I'm not here for the families trying to make decisions for the players. Enough of that bullshit, all right? Like
the players have the ability to make their own decisions.
Yeah, it's a players' league, not a family league. Like, I'm trying to make like stop, all right?
Yes. But I have to say this: the Pelicans play themselves, and I am a salty LeBron Lakers fan right now. Because obviously, I want an Anthony Davis on this team. Now, the Lakers were not winning it all this season anyway. But what does this do? This builds chemistry for next season and seasons to come. Anthony Davis wanted to be a Los Angeles Laker. It didn't happen. The Pelicans were not going to fall into the pressure of what Rich Paul and Clutch Sports wanted and what LeBron James wanted. So they said, we're going to hold on. We ain't doing what you want. Now, Dell Demps, the GM of the New Orleans Pelicans, said, you know what? My job is in jeopardy. If I make this deal, I might not have my job. And getting pressured by Greg Popovich, by all GMs around the league, do not cave in to what the Lakers want and what Magic Johnson. Now, there's firepower on the other end.
It felt like a soap opera for a real
It really
quick.
was. And imagine for these young guys, and this is what it comes down to. The Pelicans had no business in trading him to the Lakers, but they made it seem like they did. What does this do? The 42-point loss to Indiana. Okay? That's what it does. We're talking about guys. We live in a social media age. They know what's going on. LeBron James knows what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. These guys were all in for Anthony Davis. And their names were in a bunch of trade packages. We're talking all the young guys. Lonzo, Ingram, Kuzma, Zubats, KCP, Lance, Beasley. That was actually a deal. And they wanted 8. They wanted 8 picks, the Pelicans. So, but they had no business in trading with them. Yeah. And this is what, the Lakers' chemistry was destroyed. Turmoil. LeBron doesn't want these young guys. All that happened. And now they played us, but now they're going to realize they played themselves. Because that's probably, and that will be the best trade package that they will receive. Because I don't believe anyone in the league is going to have a better trade package for Anthony Davis than the Lakers just have.
You don't even need a package that big for Anthony Davis.
But we knew at this point in time you were going to have
just the value that comes of the package, not necessarily that big.
And the timing. Yeah. You knew you had to overpay if you're going to try to do a blockbuster deal like this in during the season. The summer's a different story. We see that all the time. But we are talking about Anthony Davis, and I would have taken the deal if I was the Pelicans, because not just because I want AD a Laker. And so does, by the way, Adam Silver and the NBA front office top. Mm-hmm. They wanted it to happen. But the whole landscape and all GMs around the league did not want it to happen because they didn't want them to cave into what the Lakers wanted. But I believe the Pelicans played themselves.
Yeah, because honestly, if they made this deal, they would have got all those young talents.
They're so invested in, I want Jason Tatum. Like, seriously, if you want to just look at the numbers, really, like, Jason Tatum is not that much better of a player than Kyle Kuzma.
No.
Now, I heard that they want a guy that they can 100% believe is an all-NBA talent. I understand Tatum has evolved faster than these younger guys in LA, But who's to say? But we're giving you legit a starting five.
Yeah.
Like we
A
were
whole
giving-
starting five.
But now Zubats is off the table. You're not getting that deal
They
again.
could have flipped Lonzo to Phoenix for something as well.
Exactly. And Phoenix really wanted Lonzo, and LeVar Ball wants Lonzo in
Phoenix now?
And Lonzo thinks that he can say, "I don't want to be a Pelican." Like
That's part of the
shoot
reason why.
better than 48% from the free throw line. Then tell me.
That's part of the reason why Tyler Johnson is a Phoenix Sun now,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they want to turn him into the point guard the Heat tried to turn him into.
Exactly. And speaking of Phoenix, like they're not team. Their future's so bright, just like Sacramento. But the whole 10 days leading up to that deadline, it was all AD. It took over the Super Bowl, even right.
Yeah.
And he's a Pelican, and word that he is gonna play these last 27, 30 games, and I believe this is bigger, what I'm about to say right now, because now the Pelicans had a tough decision now. The NBA was going to fine them $100,000 for
They
every
did
game.
get fined.
They did.
He sat one game.
He did. So they did get fined at least. The NBA said, listen, we're going to fine you $100K a game if you don't play him. This is the new rule in the whole CBA. You have to play guys that are healthy, right? So now they didn't make this deal out of spite, right? Now they're playing themselves because now you have a guy in Anthony Davis who wants to play, right? Mm-hmm. He wants out, but he wants to play basketball. This is what these guys are in the league for. And now he's going to hurt your chances of getting higher draft picks. And a team that you're done. You're not making the playoffs now, obviously, right? Why not make this deal? They should have thought,
Well, you're about to get into why.
Go ahead.
No, you're about to. Like I'm just saying for the people
I don't
listening,
know if
you're about to
I
get
don't know
into
what I'm
why
gonna say.
they're
You
not
want me
making
to
the
say.
deal because of what they're trying to get back. Like remember, I went on that whole rant with the Anthony Davis thing. Like that's why you're getting fined $100,000. The league doesn't care if you don't play Anthony Davis. The Spurs didn't play their players. They fined you $100,000 because they don't want you to play in these games. That's what I'm not talking about LeBron's side. I'm talking about the Pelicans not playing games. So you add LeBron and Pelicans play games back and forth to each other. That's not how it works. You're gonna find $100,000.
Playing games.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh wow, you're corny.
They're playing games, and now Anthony Davis is playing games. Like, straight up. And now, I do believe now, they were so confident that the Lakers are going to have that offer on the table. Who's to say it's not there July 1st? Well, I'm going to tell you it's not there. Because they're going to be so stuck. Because we know he wants to be a Laker. He will be a one-year rental. And he even came out and said it, I'm not playing in Boston. You can give me there. I'm there for 1 year. But I don't believe Boston even trades for him come July 1st when we see what happens. So, like we said, this summer is even bigger than what we just saw.
Yeah.
And this was pretty big. So, this summer, what happens?
We got to see what teams
What names do we got this summer?
What teams make the move. We have Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie, Clay.
All these Ks, look at that.
Yeah.
and we'll finish on this NBA All-Star Draft. What'd you think of it?
I thought it was entertaining.
I thought it was great for the fans. This is exactly what the NBA needed. They take a step forward every year. Last year, they had the draft. It wasn't televised. Are you serious? You had to televise something like this. Next year, I already tell you what they should do next year. But this year was great. LeBron and Giannis, two of the most charismatic guys you have in the league. Humble. It was great to watch. But do you notice what LeBron did with his team?
Yes, we noticed. Just say it.
I mean, I hope they noticed. I'm just saying it because people said it, but listen, LeBron built the best team he can. Oh,
Yeah.
It just so happens that
Almost
everyone on his team is a
be a
free
free
agent.
agent.
Almost everyone on his team is a free agent this summer. And Giannis was going for like an all-world team. I don't know. He drafted Vucevic like second in the reserves. So I just didn't understand.
No, I knew Giannis was going to do a fun type of team. I didn't think he was
Yeah.
going to go for all the big dudes.
Yeah, I mean, and Kevin Durant, hold your horses really quick. He gets asked, you got picked first in the draft. He goes, what else should LeBron have done? You're not the one to say that, okay? I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it. LeBron picked you first last year, okay? You're Kevin Durant. Listen, no disrespect, you're top 2 player on this planet, but I don't want to hear you saying that. Only LeBron James can talk like that. and we'll end on this. I mean, All-Star Weekend coming up and all that.
Yeah, who you got winning? Who you guys got winning?
Team LeBron.
Obviously
It's not
bronze,
close.
yeah.
Like, I don't even think this might be like a bad All-Star game right now.
Yeah.
Whoa, I don't know about that. There's a lot of talented players on each
People
side.
were frowned upon last year. People I don't watch the All-Star game anymore. Last year was the best All-Star game we had in years. Do you all remember?
Ever? No, not ever. I'm playing.
I can't argue that because my man LeBron took
You didn't see a lot of
Took
All-Star
them all
games.
to get
Neither did I,
MVP.
so we can't really say that.
The only All-Star game footage I see is when Jordan and Kobe are saying something like, I got 6, you got 3. That's what I know. But Team LeBron, of course. I mean, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. So starting lineup, massive. LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. and Giannis' starting lineup is Giannis. He took Steph Curry as his first pick. Giannis, Steph Curry, Joel Embiid, Kemba, and I believe,
Paul George?
yes, sir, Paul George. So, starting five speak for himself, and then the bench. LeBron even got his man Ben Simmons in the first All-Star game trade. Went down. But like I said, next season I do hope that they actually do it on All-Star Saturday night, where they have the 26 All-Stars at half court, and they draft it like a pickup game at the park. So you see their faces. And the NHL actually does this thing where they, bro, is this real right now? They're talking about the All-Star game and LeBron's draft. Like
What happened?
they're listening to us, bro. What happened? Bron was talking about who he drafted for his All-Star game. But yeah, it should be great for the fans, especially that.
Yeah.
I'll end on this. I gotta always end with LeBron, right? So you hear what LeBron.
I've been ending on an awful lot.
Yeah, we're adding an awful lot of different things.
Seriously, I'm ending on this. LeBron comes out and says, "Listen, I see what the East is up to. They're all going in, cause I'm not."
I should have known.
Is he wrong, Matt?
I mean, I don't think so.
My question is, do these teams make these moves if LeBron James is still in the Eastern Conference?
Dude, some of them might have.
You got to think about it.
Is Kawhi Leonard a Toronto Raptor if LeBron James is in the Eastern Conference?
Well, yeah, because it still wasn't his choice. The Raptors wanted someone to compete, so regardless.
Do they make that move, knowing, man, we're going to stop the run to LeBron? And we're talking about the LeBronto Raptors at this point.
I'm not sure.
So he has every right to say that because it's facts. Listen, does it sound cocky? Yes, of course it does. But if it's facts, we roll with it.
Facts coming.
Facts coming over here. It's been Out of Bounds Sports. My man, Matt Cruz, Omar Albar.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you
for
guys.
listening. Peace.
Thank you for listening. Later.